Hello, my dear Leos. This is your reading for the week of January 19th, or when you hear it and it resonates. And of course, it won't be for all Leos. The ones that I'm reading for now, we always work with the intention of giving you something positive, something to work with. That's going to help move you into a more beneficial state of being for yourself. And the first thing that I see are two images, both of which are about frustration. I see you holding what looks like a nice bunch of flowers that somebody has delivered to you, with all the appropriate greenery and everything. But then it's like you go to move one of them and you get pricked by a thorn and you're going, and you just like toss the bouquet aside. Then I'm seeing you with 5 cards in your hand. They're all spades. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look that up. And what you've got is this hand of cards, and you're looking at it, and you're looking at the table, and it looks as though there's nobody else to play with. You're stuck with these cards, and you don't even really know what the game is anymore, because you're trying to play an old game with an old set of cards, and it doesn't work anymore. What you're being shown here is that a lot of your frustration is coming from you trying to maintain something that you have believed is right and appropriate, according to your rules, according to what you think is right. But it's based on, I'm going to use a term that's we're using a lot these days, but an old story. It's based on an old belief system that you have carried with you that has really shaped a lot of your activity. And why do I say activity specifically? Because it has, of course, affected your view of yourself, of the world, of what is right in the world, what is right for you to be doing in the world. But Leo, sometimes in the process of that, what's happened is you have unwittingly almost become loyal to the belief system that's kept you in struggle, that's kept you in resistance, that's kept you in having to achieve, having to do. What you're being asked to do, you get the 3 cards, the first 3 cards that come up are the virtue card. Who decides what's right? Who decides what's right? Is it you who decides what's right for you, or do you let other people decide what is right for you? And we're talking about standards, values here, behaviors. Do you only consider it virtuous in your eyes if other people see it as virtuous? And do you only see other people as virtuous if they hold your values? And that's something that is quite important for Leo, because it's often true that as a fixed sign and as very strong personalities, usually really strong ego structures, it's very easy for a Leo to assert their authority, their power. And what you're being asked to look at here is, where is that no longer serving you? Where is that a part of an old belief system, an old structure of values that you've taken on that maybe, if you were to really question yourself and say, maybe just this once I could reevaluate what I think is right. If you can do that, you're going to find yourself in a much easier mental state, because it's going to allow you to make changes in your behaviors and your attitudes. The attitude is a thing that can shift for you in a way that can really liberate you, Leo. What you've got here is you've also got the why not who said so card, and you've got the sorry not sorry card. So you got that on top of virtue, why not who says so, and sorry not sorry, don't apologize. So what you've got really here, Leo, is you've got questions, you've got cards saying, look at, this is not just what the cards are saying, okay? This is what they're giving me based on, or the cards are giving me based on this. And what this is this is your opportunity now. Whatever situation you're in where you're feeling compressed and constricted and in conflict or resistance as opposed to in flow, This is your opportunity, Leo, my loves, my very strong people, to step back and question yourself. Why or why not about behaviors, attitudes, what's right, what's not right, who says so, where did that come from? And now is it something that I am just stubbornly reinforcing because it's what I have previously associated with being valuable? That's a key statement. Please listen to it again. I don't know what I just said, but it's really important. This is you being able to take a chance on questioning your ideals, your ideology, who you thought yourself to be, and to really lean into, you don't have to apologize for any of it. You can just acknowledge who you are. And sometimes it's the idea of having to apologize for something, or if we acknowledge that perhaps we've been controlling, arrogant. I'm using a bunch of words that are not specifically about Leo. I'm just talking about qualities that as people we sometimes feel we don't want to associate ourselves with. So if we can look at any of the negative things that we would associate ourselves with and say, you know what? No, I don't have to apologize for this. I don't have to apologize for having had that opinion or that belief system. I don't have, oh, there we go, past, present, future, that's exactly right. I don't have to apologize for having been that way. I am allowed to acknowledge where I have made mistakes, where I wasn't perfect, where I didn't know better. I can do that now because I am strong enough in my sense of who I am. My ego can take being looked at clearly and honestly and saying, you know what, that was then. And this is now. And now what I can do is I can, this, and you're getting the discipline card, but you're getting the discipline card as a statement about doing good things for you. And in this case, what I really want to say is to focus on what you do like about yourself as a way to support you in being able to look at the things that maybe you're not so proud of, or that you feel shame about or regret about. It's the ability to look at these things and assess what's holding you in a pattern of resistance that's going to allow you to let it go. And what's really beautiful about that also, Leo, is that you've got so much potential for being real powerhouses in a positive way. When you can really be your dynamic self, your building self, your creating community and cooperation self, and when you can do it with a sense of ease and flow in yourself that comes from a loving yourself at a deeper level than just ego, and approving of yourself with all of your flaws, and loving yourself with all of these mistakes and this history that's maybe messy, or the tendency to do things now that you might sometimes, or people might find questionable. When you can love yourself with all of that, or at least accept yourself, and that this is a part of the package that you're here to learn and grow with, then you can allow yourself to be self-aware. But if you're not willing to face the fact that you might potentially be fallible, or maybe you're still trying to play an old game or playing with old cards, when you can admit that, when you can acknowledge that, that's when you can be self-aware. But if you can't look at any of those things that you're afraid are negative, then it makes self-awareness and growth kind of tricky. So your relationships, the beautiful thing about all of this for all of us is our relationships will tell us when we're not in flow. And it gives us a chance in that moment to decide, are we going to be reflective and look at this and say, do I want to keep creating more resistance in this? Do I want to be resorting back to childhood stuff? Or is this my opportunity now to let it go and to move out of it? The thing is, Leo, you have got, as we know, very strong personalities. And you have often a difficulty in admitting things about relationships or situations that might have contributed to what you now find uncomfortable or disappointing. But the thing is, we are all in a position now where we can look at our relationships and look at the upsets and the pain and the ouch and all of that stuff and grow from it. It's showing up because it's time for us to move beyond those things that are preventing us from loving from that deeper place and not just predominantly from the ego. Because the ego can fool us into thinking we're loving from our heart. There's a very, very, very interesting line there. And it demands vulnerability to really check in with where things are coming from. Leo, I actually see this as a very positive time for you. And I see this as a time where, we're all being called. We're all being called. Our deep selves, our higher conscious selves, I love it. Our higher conscious selves are being called to wake up, to allow the transformations or assist our personalities in the transformations that are necessary in order for all of that bounty to be offered up for ourselves, our own enjoyment, but also for our community, humanity. Your last card that you're getting to top this off, Leo, is Quantum Leap of Faith. This means that beyond logical expectation, beyond the linear projections of our minds, there is a place of free fall. Here, you trust that what feels like leaping into the unknown void is really sailing on the winds of the infinite, unlimited benevolence, which will guide you wisely to your best and most graceful landing. Divine benevolence, my darlings, is there. Whether you are willing to love yourself through the uncomfortable parts when they come up, please know you are always loved. There is always divine love for you. Nobody is judging you but you. Well, okay, maybe some people, but that's where you go to the sorry, not sorry. I do want to add up childhood prayers there for you because you've got past, present, future, childhood prayers, sorry, not sorry. This is you being able to resolve whatever you've held from your childhood that has compressed your personality into something that perhaps has become a little more rigid and a little bit more controlled than what your spirit potentially really wants for you. So I leave you with this, Leo, saying congratulations, because if you're getting these cards, there's a whole big bunch of you who are really either in the process of doing this or are on the precipice of this. And I congratulate you because it is a bold leap. Okay? Take care. Please take care of yourselves. Much love.